Hey, it's Justin, and today we're talking about one of the terrible things that happened in Ocean County a number of weeks ago, the middle of August. You might remember those horrible floods that came to Brick. It was a lot of rain in a short amount of time. One neighborhood, one community was totally devastated. You might have heard about Greenbriar in Brick, and that's why we're here today with Sue from Compass 82 and Susan from Northern Ocean Habitat for Humanity, coming together to try to help the residents of Greenbriar. Sue, your history goes back to the Ocean County Long-Term Recovery Group. You went through a lot of this during Sandy, and you were telling us that this is kind of like a mini Sandy.
Absolutely. So, after Sandy, we had thousands of people who were displaced from their homes. And, we as the community had to try to come together, meet each other, learn what each other's programs are all about, and try to figure out how to work together. Mm-hmm. So we did that successfully for 5, almost 6 years now. And what we learned is that we can get so much more accomplished if we all collaborate and work together.
Right.
So for Greenbriar and the Brick event, we are employing all those relationships that we fostered during the recovery of Sandy and putting it in the forefront and saying, all right, guys, let's get back together and let's figure this out.
And that's how you came together with Northern Ocean Habitat for Humanity. Susan, we were talking about the fact that, again, this was a number of weeks ago. One of the things I like to tell people, the reason that local media is so important is when this happened, NBC was there, CBS was there, all the trucks come down from New York, but then they leave.
That's right.
We're here. And we want to make sure that people know that this is still an ongoing thing. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the people that are still displaced?
Well, it's, and you're absolutely right, that's our challenge right now. The people are on average of about 70 to 75 years old, and a lot of them are living on fixed incomes. They had a very good life. They settled into what was going to be their retirement, happy in their little small, probably about a 1,200 square foot home. And unfortunately, without any real, demographics that indicated flooding, they felt very safe where they were. So this very devastating storm that came through has now left a lot of them homeless. Unfortunately, some of the people that we help are living on such tight fixed incomes that any kind of changes to their lives, anything, can just really start them into a very bad downward spiral.
Yeah, and you were saying before that of the 100 or so homes that were affected, I think you were saying that only 2 had flood insurance. So now they're at the point where a lot of them are still living in hotels with family, but their houses, they can't do anything without the help of groups like Compass 82 and Habitat.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And, unfortunately, it's not a large enough event where you can kick in money from the town, the county, the state, or from the federal government. So if they did not have the resources on their own, many of them may not get back home if we don't kind of come together and get them.
And I do want to enforce the fact that this storm came out of nowhere. I live very close to Greenbriar. It was one of those things where in the span of an hour, it went from a bad rainstorm to, oh my God, this is really bad. So a lot of these people were unprepared, didn't have time, and now they're just out of their homes.
Yeah.
So the goal with Northern Ocean Habitat for Humanity, we want to try to get them back into their homes by the holidays.
That's right.
So people that want to help, how can they do that?
Well, what we would like to proposition to the community is, to continue to look at this as a community collaboration. I think what's wonderful, there's always a silver lining out of things that are really tough in life. And the silver lining out of Sandy is really, the co-ed. It's community organizations that came together that are active, for disaster. And I think that what we all have to realize right now as a community is that we can all do a part, a piece. And if we think about our lives, we think about our mothers, our grandmothers, the people we love in our lives, we don't want to, just kind of forget about this, this little mini disaster.
Yeah, and I think you put it very eloquently, the fact that this is one of those things that a lot of people might think, oh, they had a bad storm, it's over now.
Yeah.
But it's not, because it was so devastating, but so localized.
That's right.
So if people want to donate, they can go to nohfh.com/Greenbriar. And again, the goal to get them back in by the holidays. Sue from Compass 82, Susan from Northern Ocean Habitat for Humanity, thank you so much for coming in. I know I said you off camera, please let me know what I can do. This is where I live. I want to do what I can to help. So thank you for coming in. nohfh.com/Greenbriar.